Alright, so last class at the end of the macromolecule session, I decided I was gonna go ahead and add in some stuff there. But then I realized, hey, wait a minute, what if that's not enough? So at the end, I said I would link this note and the gizmos into the description. However, just as I came out of a high school, I know that many of you all won't go ahead and listen and read and well, whatever you do, you likely won't do anything to it. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna be doing a full-on video, and I'm gonna be telling you everything that's present in this. So, without much ado, let's go ahead and do it. Just like usual, I can't play the gizmo for you. That's something that you gotta do because there's instructions. It's your experience, honestly. So I can't help you do anything with that. So let's go ahead and talk about the rest. So remember this link is right here. I'm gonna still put it into the description, just in case. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of y'all will be like, "Oh, you didn't link it to the description, so we can't find it." So yeah, stop nagging, bro. Stop being like that. Okay. So first, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go through what each function, what is the organ, what does it actually do, where is it, and the function. So first we have the salivary gland. So this is in the mouth, by the way, if you didn't know. So in the mouth we have the pH is around 7.8. So that's kind of your regular about your regular pH. And basically here we breaks down starch into maltose. So we talked about that in the last video. Um, we also now let's get into stomach. So stomach is a little different. Stomach, we have three things here. So HCl is the stomach acid. We have pepsin, which breaks down proteins. We have mucus, which is used for protection because the acid is very acidic. So we have to, we have to have a protective layer there just so we don't damage our own stomach, essentially. And then the stomach acid is used for digestion, pretty straightforward, and the pepsin used to break down proteins, which is also pretty straightforward. And now let's talk about bile. So bile is because fats is stupidly hard to break down, so we have this special thing for fats. So that is bile. So the liver produces bile. However, liver is an accessory organ, so it only produces bile. It doesn't actually use it directly or do anything. So what happens is that it's gonna produce the bile. Is then the bile is gonna get into the duodenum, which is also known as the small intestines, and then the small intestines, they're gonna be the ones that's gonna be, doing the absorption and all of that. They're gonna be using this bile to actually break down the fats. Okay, that is that, and gallbladder. So bile is actually stored completely in the gallbladder, so that is the only and sole purpose of the gallbladder. That's pretty straightforward. Pancreas. So pancreas is another one of the most kind of important things in this entire, well, I guess in our entire digestive tract that we can ever think about. So first it has bicarbonate, which basically neutralizes all the stomach acid so that your small intestines doesn't completely break. That's the first thing it does. And then it also creates lipase, which breaks down lipids that got broken down by the bile. And then it has pancreatic amylase, which kind of, well, I guess not kind of. So what it does, it essentially breaks down starch into maltose because our mouth might not be, well, it is usually not the most functioning type of. It's usually not the most appreciated way that we would use to break down starch. So we have that process again in the pancreas. And then we also have carbohydrates, which is used to break down maltose into sucrase, which includes sucrase, maltase, and lactase. So essentially, what it does is it breaks down maltose into simple sugar of glucose. That's what it does. And then we also have protease, which is breaking down proteins, or well, I guess peptides, but like doesn't really matter. And then then we have to talk about our main thing in the entire digestive tract, that being the small intestine. So the small intestine, we have sucrase, which is breaking down sucrose into glucose. We will have maltase, which breaks down maltose into glucose plus glucose. We will also have lactase, which breaks down lactose into glucose and galactose. And finally, we have peptidase, which breaks down peptides into amino acids. And then now we talk about the large intestine. Large intestine really only has one thing that it's kind of doing, and that is having mucus. So it's protecting protective layer, whether that's protecting the large intestine itself or it's protecting your rectum and anus, stuff like that. And that is pretty much it. So it is really a short class because I didn't want to keep you for too long for this, because really this is pretty self explanatory. I just wanted to make sure that everybody actually do it and don't skip this lesson. So yeah, that is pretty much it. And I will also be making the digestive diseases next class.